Crew, what's up? What's good? It's your girl Jasmine back when I'll be on the channel. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Let's go. So today we got 10 times Kobe humiliated, embarrassed his opponents. I'm excited for this because I'd like to see who is in here that he embarrassed. I would like to see that and I can't wait. Hope you guys will enjoy this video. Let me know any other videos you'd like to see me do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and push the notification bell. With that being said, let's get it.
One of the best basketball players who ever played. He was also a real alpha predator with an insane competitive drive and desire to win. This cocktail of personality traits left some casualties behind, as Kobe wasn't too worried about how he might come across and whom he might embarrass with his words or actions. Here are 10 times Kobe humiliated his opponents. Number 10, climbing on Mount Ming. Extremely tall NBA centers become a mark for every other player in the league, who always try to dunk on them and put them on a poster. The 7'6" Sean Bradley got dunked on so much that they used to call him Poster Boy. Equally tall Yao Ming was a little less known for getting dunked on, but during a game against the Lakers in 2005, he got caught. Kobe drove baseline from the left side of the court. Yao came over to help, but it was too late. Kobe was already too high in the air, and he was one of the first players that climbed Mount Ming and gave the Chinese giant his first Kodak moment. Number 9, when Ruben Patterson claimed he was the Kobe stopper. When relatively unknown players trash talk superstars, it's mostly because they want to get their 15 minutes of fame. Ruben Patterson was a 6'5" small forward who had a solid but unspectacular NBA career. He started as Kobe's teammate with the Lakers in 1998, then moved around a lot and retired in 2008 with
You know what's sad? I've never heard of this player. Ever.
career averages of 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He'll mostly be remembered by trash-talking Kobe and proclaiming himself the Kobe stopper before a game with the Lakers. I'm all for players believing in their ability, hyping themselves up, and getting their name in the media. However, when you're doing it against Kobe, it's probably not a good idea. In the final game of the 2003 regular season, with the Lakers down by 3 and 4 seconds to go, Bryant got isolated on Patterson. The so-called Kobe stopper couldn't do anything against such a skillful offensive player, and he watched Kobe sink a 3 that would tie the game. The Lakers
low-key, that was good defense. That was great defense. Kobe was just being Kobe in that moment.
They were winning the second overtime on another heroic game winner from Bryant. Kobe finished with a game-high 37 points and proved that there's no such thing as a Kobe stopper. Number 8, Kobe welcomed Dwight Howard to the league. There are many basketball memories of Kobe and Dwight Howard. There's the 2009 NBA Finals, when the Lakers defeated Howard's Magic, and Kobe winning his first Finals MVP. Then there's the 2013 season, when Howard came to LA and was supposed to replicate the success Kobe had with Shaq, but it ended up in a disappointing divorce just 1 season later. And then one of my fondest memories, when Howard played for Houston and got into a scuffle with Kobe, who repeatedly called him soft. But the most memorable and most embarrassing moment came in 2004, when Howard was a rookie and Kobe was in his athletic prime. Kobe had split 2 Orlando defenders, rushed down the lane, where he was greeted by Howard, already one of the best shot blockers in the league. And even though Kobe...
Look at that. Like, just look at that. My God. That's a poster. That's a poster for you right there. That's a good poster for you right there. You ever think NBA players, like, when they dunk on people like that, when they have a nice poster like that, you think they hang it up around their house? I would. I would hang up each person that I dunk on around my house. Just a reminder, like, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me.
Kobe could jump. Nobody believed that he would jump over Dwight and viciously dunk him into the basket together with the ball.
That's embarrassing.
Number 7, when Kobe got his revenge on Del Harris. Del Harris was Kobe's first coach in the NBA, and due to his youth and stiff competition at shooting guard, Harris didn't start Kobe in his first 2 seasons.
That's crazy.
Stuck with Bryant. When I was a rookie, I hated Del, and I always said if I get a chance to get revenge, I'm going to get it. On December 20th, 2005, Kobe got his revenge in a spectacular fashion. Bryant managed to score 62 points in under 33 minutes of action against the Dallas Mavericks, who were coached by Del Harris at the time. Mavs were no slouch, and their team would go on to the final
62 points in under 33 minutes
that season. However, they couldn't do anything against Kobe, who made them look like high school players that night. Because he had outscored the Mavs 62-61 by himself,
That's
the Lakers
crazy.
had an uncatchable lead, and Kobe sat out the entire fourth quarter, even though he could have possibly scored over 80 even then. Number 6. When Matt Barnes tried to make Kobe
Everybody
flinch.
remember this.
Matt Barnes always represented that rougher part of the crew and was no stranger to on-court altercations. He would use all the tricks in the book to try to get under opponents' skin and take their mind off the game. When he played for the Magic in 2010, Barnes tried to do the same with Kobe, with whom he had many battles over the years. During one play, Matt was taking the ball out of bounds and faked a pass inches in front of Kobe's face, trying to cause a reaction or a flinch from Mamba. The only thing he got out of it was a deadpan death stare from Kobe, who was projecting a vibe like, "Really? You're really gonna try that ish on me?" However, Kobe was impressed with what Barnes tried to pull off, and he contacted him to join the Lakers next year. "If you're crazy enough to F with me, then you're crazy enough to come play with me too," Kobe said. Number 5.
Man, Kobe just wanted hard workers on his team, which any superstar player should. You gonna want somebody who wants to grind, get it in, day out, and ain't scared of nobody. That's what superstar players should want on their team.
Mark Cuban suggested the Lakers use an amnesty clause on Kobe. Kobe and the Lakers struggled mightily in the 2012-2013 season. They were supposed to be the greatest team in the NBA with the additions of Steve Nash and Dwight Howard. But not only were they not at the top of the league, they didn't even look like a playoff team. Before they played the Mavericks on February 24th, 2013, the Lakers had a losing record, which was something Mark Cuban found hard not to comment on. If you look at the Lakers' salaries, they have the highest payroll and the highest paid player in Bryant. Even if Dwight comes back, you've got to ask the question, should they amnesty Kobe? Of course, these comments didn't go unnoticed by Kobe, who just got himself another motive to beat the Mavs and shut the Dallas owner up. He went on to score 38 points in the game, including 14 in the fourth quarter. The Lakers won the game in Dallas. And on his way home, Kobe tweeted, "Amnesty that,"
period.
caps. Number 4. The Sam Mitchell hate. During Kobe's farewell season, he wasn't playing the best basketball, as his body was clearly not capable of producing the same vigor and explosiveness as before. However, when he played against the Timberwolves, coached by Sam Mitchell, Bryant pulled off a vintage performance. Even though he shot just 35% for the season, Mamba torched Andrew Wiggins and the Wolves for 38 points, with 7 out of 11 from 3. Kobe scored 14 of the Lakers' final 18 points, including a game-deciding fadeaway with 30 seconds left in the game. After the game, Mitchell was in a bad mood and had this to say about Kobe, only half jokingly. "I hate him, and if I don't ever see him again, it'll be too soon. I hate him." Of course, a large portion of
Dang, even if he was joking, that was pretty deep though.
the hate stems from the time Bryant scored 81 points on his Toronto Raptors in 2007, which he had to answer for ever since. If you're watching this, Sam, I hate to say it, that one was on you. You should have double and triple teamed him that game, because it was clear you were going to be on the bad side of a historic game.
Facts. Who was guarding him when he played the Raptors? Was it Jalen Rose? Was Jalen Rose guarding him that whole time?
Number 3, when Kyrie Irving challenged him to a one-on-one. In 2012, the Team USA was preparing for the Beijing Olympics and played against the select team filled with younger NBA players. Kyrie Irving, who was on the select team, felt he needed to say a few words to Kobe. "You know I can beat you one-on-one, right? Are you crazy?" Kobe replied. Irving kept talking trash, and the two shook hands on a $50,000 bet. Before Kyrie moved away, Kobe said, "You just knocked yourself into a 50 the next time we play the Cavs." When the Lakers played the Cavs the first time, Kyrie got isolated on Kobe during one play in the third quarter and tried every trick in the book to get separation for a shot. Crosses, hesitations, left, right, nothing worked.
That's
And
crazy.
Kobe blocked his shot, in a teaser of what would have happened if they ever played against each other. Kobe didn't drop 50 in the game, but it was close. Mamba had 42 on the Cavs and Kyrie, who should have known.
And what's crazy is that only just makes you better. Like, I'm sure Kyrie will remember that moment forever, and I'm sure he's like, it probably motivated the mess out of him to even get better. Because you got to think, Kyrie has some amazing handles. Amazing handles. And Kobe stopped that. Old Kobe stopped that. Like, man.
What was coming. Number 2, when J.R. Ryder got embarrassed at practice. Kobe was a gentleman off the court, soft-spoken, curious, and kind. But on the court, he was anything but, as we have had the privilege to see in the 2014 video of the Lakers practice, when he cursed out all of his teammates. As a player, if you scored on Kobe or said something to him, you knew that was not going to be the end of it, and that he'll want to get even with you. When J.R. Ryder got to the Lakers in 2000, things got really interesting. Ryder was a brash guy and a good player, averaging 18 points per game in his career, and he'd let Kobe know about it in every practice. is. Don't get it twisted. I'm a star too, and I used to give you buckets.
Oh.
Kobe said, "Oh yeah?" and challenged him to a one-on-one after practice. Phil Jackson loved these inter-team battles, and he didn't even wait for practice to end. He said, "All right, you want to go? Everybody off the court." Kobe was mad, and he pulled everything in his bag to show Ryder that he's not going to be talked to like that. Kobe was crazy skilled and crazy athletic.
Ooh.
He absolutely demolished poor JR.
Had that man
when
on
Kobe
skates.
finished him off, it was so cutthroat that the practice facility was silent at first. JR had his tail between his legs, and of course,
That's embarrassing.
never talk trash to Kobe again.
That's
Number
embarrassing.
1, Kobe dropped 55.
How you call him out during practice? Coach, how about, all right, let's freeze practice real quick. Y'all go ahead. First one to 5, first one to 10, whatever. Kobe had that man on skates. Do you hear me? I wonder if he even scored. I wonder if JR even scored. Probably not. He probably never got the ball.
On Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant took a lot from Michael Jordan, and on the night of March 28, 2003, he wanted to take his heart out. If you know anything about Jordan, you know that he's one of the meanest trash talkers in NBA history. He didn't change his habits one bit, even as a 39-year-old in a Wizards jersey, with his glory days clearly in the rearview mirror. Probably a bit threatened by Kobe's three-peat with the Lakers, MJ slipped out this poisonous remark to Bryant during the 2003 All-Star break. "You can wear the shoes, but you will never fill them." Kobe took that personally. In a true Jordan-esque manner. He went berserk and didn't speak to anyone for 2 weeks. His teammates were wondering what's wrong with him, until the word spread that it was all because of what Jordan had said. Once the game against Washington was on the schedule, they all knew what was going to happen and what they needed to do. Give the ball to Kobe and move the hell out of the way. Bryant shined with 55 points against Jordan, going 9 of 13 from deep and 42 in the first half alone. With this breathtaking double nickel,
not
Kobe
him
gave
standing
Jordan
over
a
him
taste of
like
his own
that.
medicine, who was famous for revenge games on people who had the nerve to say something to him. In 2014, when he was asked who could beat him one-on-one out of the current and past NBA players, MJ said that he wouldn't lose against anybody other than Kobe, who stole all his moves. In his trash-talking ways, MJ served the highest compliment to Kobe because he tasted on his own skin what a killer Black Mamba was, especially if you got him mad. Thank you.
But could have Kobe beaten the Bulls MJ like that?
For watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Let me know what y'all think of Kobe Bryant embarrassing his opponents. Which opponent do you think he embarrassed the most? I think majority of them was coaches. It was like half and half, but y'all gotta let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, push that notification bell so you know notification I post. Let me know any other videos you'd like to see me do. That being said, see you guys next video.